Let's get into it. We have 30 minutes. You're busy woman. I don't know how you manage it. Maybe it has become your second skin. The way you do it, being a founder, it's
Yeah.
tremendous.
Can I share with you my calendar real quick? Okay. So this is how my week looks like. So this is how it looks like. Some chaotic weeks. I have my Monday is for my personal I would say CEO day. And
Okay.
then Tuesday is where I put most of my energy in the product. So
Hmm.
it's the blue block right here, product building, debugging, and shipping new features. And then I would spend most of my Wednesday is building another product feature or hopping on calls like this, or just having like content scheduling blocks. So that's how I naturally operate. Saturday is for experiments, for going out, for vlogs, for exchange, because a lot of events, especially in tech, they happen either in like midweek, Wednesday, Tuesday, or even, on the weekends.
Because your calendar is the most colorful calendar I've seen, except my two founders I work with. So, do you use any AI tool to make sure you are on top and you're able to manage the calendar well, even on a really bad day?
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a really interesting question because like when people take a look at the calendar, people think, okay, this is how I'm planning my week ahead, right? But for me, I have a two-way system in the calendar itself. So what the chaotic, a lot of color blocks that you have seen is actually my past week, how it's actually happened. And then I have my future week is this kind of block where this is a ideal version of what that week is like. So we have the ideal version, right? But in real life, there's a lot of things happen.
Of
AI comes in just helping me to block the time with external folks. For example, I know that my Tuesday, I need to have my afternoon morning, for example, like 2 p.m. to like 10 p.m. with other people. So I would block this, mentally and then also in my calendar for other people to book it, like talk to founder here. Yeah. And then if they actually booked it, then yeah, sure, we're gonna have a conversation. But if not, it becomes my system of record. Yeah. And that's how I function. So don't be intimidated by looking at how chaotic it is, because everything happened naturally according to the ideal version, and then anything else fall out into that.
Let me pivot a bit here. In OddCode, we have AI Women in Brew series, which is one of the most integral part of OddCode community. It's a women forward space for all things AI and its applications. They can learn from women like you how they are using AI and technology in their daily work life, and especially the women who have reached at the level where they have to manage the teams, the work, stay at top. There is a lot of talk about AI being used to create more. And I want to, when I heard about Sidekick Log, I felt this is more like subtracting from your life and making sure that you focus on the right things. What made you decide that real value is in less, not more, what is out there? And how did you get into this?
Interesting question. Because if you met me like a year ago, you would not think that I am near AI even, I would say. And everybody's shocked, like totally was shocked when they hear like, okay, so she is not like having like a traditional technical background. And so my whole story is actually very funny. I have always been an entrepreneur from a very young age. I feels like that was the only one thing that I wanted to do for the rest of my life. So in grade one and during my school years, I started a lot of side hustle project, I would say. So somehow the, kids, they have lemonade stands and selling lemonade for $1. I have my kind of version like that. So I would just renting books and scaling it across classrooms. And on top of that, they have to sign like a little paper policy that I have at that time. They love it because like they could not afford to buy one. And now like what? They get one fourth of the price renting from me. So that's a good deal. I bring them books every time. So it was my kind of version started in school. And then I actually grew a fashion blog to like 13,000 followers with no fashion background at all. Like I just share like this is how I see the world. I just curated a lot of pictures from other creators.
The
Yeah.
learning would be do not think and just jump into it. It sounds true when people say that people are born entrepreneurs because your story fits into that statement where you were born with product thinking mindset. Most of the people are not natively product thinkers, but you are. Most of them, like me, are builders, operators with experiences. What would be your advice to those who are starting to build their AI native companies? Because to me, when I started as an operator, I had to go through, if you've heard about Product Led Growth, the book by Wes Bush. It's like a Bible to me. And most of the people who are not native product thinkers, they go to that book and try to think a way product managers would think. So to you, it comes naturally. You said that there was an instinct always how to think in a way how product builders think. So, what advice would you give to those people who are operators but they have good experience and they are starting to build AI
Hmm.
native products and how they can avoid this law?
I would just say one thing is you should start thinking by first principle. So what I mean by that is first principle, we ignore everything above or every other way has been done before, and we ask the core truth. So, what is the human behavior, the human drive, the human instinct that would need, to make this come true? So, for me, back in like 2025, when I started this, I had a direct course with the CPO of Netflix. So he was the one who actually planted in me the framework of how you should think about and package your own products in the way that delight to people and meaningful and valuable to people. I will share the link later. It felt like the whole world opened up to me like in a new way because now not just I see new opportunities, but now I can actually and unlock my new capabilities as well. So that was the biggest breakthrough changing moment for me at that time. And then until June of 2025, I went on like a cafe chat with a stranger who is happened also to be a founder. Like he was building his own startup and all. And he was non-technical as well. And he was like, I have a team of 4 engineers and they are start building my thing. I don't know how to touch it. I'm just the PM guy. I just tell them like what feature they need to be. And I told him like, wait, have you heard of Lovables? And I started sharing one of my projects, and that project is Sidekick Log. So that
Amazing.
was, yeah, that was like that first call. I didn't even expect anything out of it. I was like, bro, check this out. This is cool. I was able to do one of my project and I brought Psychic Log because it was the easiest way to explain to him. And I told him like, have you ever lost any messages in all of your group chats and you cannot find anywhere, you cannot keep track of all things? So Psychic Log solved it. And he was like, he solved on the spot. And I told him like, okay, do you want it? If you want it, pay money right now. And then I can start building it. And then he actually did. He wired me on the spot. And I wrote on my LinkedIn post. And that's the journey of how Sidekick Log happened. So that's of my way is like thinking in principle. And then I have to prove that my theory was everywhere I go, every room I've been in, every playbook, successful playbook out there, they are made by men.
Whenever I talk to women, it's very interesting that somehow our conversation, women who are building, women who are front and center of the product, women who are founders, all of our conversations sum up into, in the end, with the statement that whenever they are building, they have been in the room where there are hardly 10% of the women in the whole group. We have seen communities coming up supporting women, communities that are started by women to support women, right? Do you like still walk into the groups and communities and see less women?
Especially in our previous Women in AI cohort. So a lot of women in AI, they came together and globally, like all from all of the countries out there. They came in learning, curious, and taking initiatives. I think that's great. And what we need is a curated, career-driven space for them to actually experiment more. Because take a look at my own journey, I have seen that the only motivator for me to start, pushing things forward and continue doing when, there is a male dominant industry was that curiosity, that drive. So if I didn't have any curiosity at all, I would have quit long ago. I constantly throwing myself in the environment where I would be exposed to learning. So that's how I engineer my own way of learning the curve. So you have to have that curiosity. And instead of being intimidated and be like, oh my God, everybody is so better at me at engineering, take a look at your own strengths. So you have to like be really aware of like who you are as a person, what your strengths are. And instead of worrying about the weak side, focus on your strengths. And if your weak one is actually below the average in the area you want to succeed, yeah, then improve it. That's how my plan is. But I just improve it enough so I would be competitive, but I don't forget about my, unfair advantage that I have. Because most of the time, um, this is how I got stand out because they always say like, oh my God, Hien, you have like such sharp product insight in this. So that's how I do it most of the time. But it took me months until I realized this. So I wish anyone started now, don't get intimidated at all. Just focus on your strengths.
This was a really good discussion here. And I'm glad that you joined AI Women in Brew, and we are kicking off this series discussion with women, how they are using AI, how they are building with AI. And we got to know a lot more about you. I'm sure a lot of women who will be listening to this, they will get to know about you. Please ping Hien. Will share the link in the chat as well, how she's building. We'll share the link of Sidekick Log as well.
Actually, I want to say thank you to Lovely for inviting me today. Um, and the team, of course. I think we are very fortunate that we are here building in the AI era. And, like we have so much new capabilities unlocked that we can build with it. But, let's not be drowned in another AI capability stuff, but always anchor back into your goals and your needs. And for us, we have always been passionate about how to filter out that noise to our own operating layer and operating system. So I would excited to share more about Psychic Log and perhaps like a new episode if we
Of
get
course,
another
yes.
one.
A separate
But
episode for Sidekick Log.
Yes, like how I would share about my own operating layer, how my calendar is, how my email, and how I run my own company. And it's totally AI native.
That's amazing. That's what the need of the hour is. I guess the focus is more on subtraction then. The theme of our podcast is here.